most likely is going to be able to carry the game.
Well, here we are into picks and bans. Talia getting removed from Diabolus, taking that away from Godbro. Godbro has had a serious amount of Talia presence. He loves these roaming mid laners. He loves to make plays all over the map. Wind and Rain will answer back by banning away the Tristana.
Yeah, this makes sense. Just looking back to what happened in the previous game, Smiley managed to get to this 3-item spike and be such a presence. And the Talia, Godbro, whenever he plays it, he shoves in roam, so makes sense to get rid of it.
And then if we Camille and Azir getting removed. So far, Wind and Rain have had 100% ban rate on the Galio. So I do expect to see a Galio ban come through at some point from them. They don't want to be giving Larson that in the mid lane. However, he hasn't actually played the Galio at all. He's played a lot of these kind of more assassin style, played a lot more kind of control style mid laners.
Yeah, and it will actually go through. So interesting to see if Diabolus will prioritize that. It doesn't seem like the sort of champion Larson would play. He does look for the more scaling champions. And the Tahm Kench actually comes out first. I think that's a really smart pickup. Takes it away from Labrov, but also it's a good pick for Hado. It means he can peel Larson and Smiley late in the game, who are these hyper carries.
It's also a massive counter to one of the kind of top tier junglers we've seen rising through the meta recently with the Skarner. If someone does get impaled up, he can obviously just gobble them up and eat them away, take them out of any sort of danger. Let's have a look and see what Wind and Rain will be picking up here. Going to be the Xayah and the Alistair in the bot lane for them.
Yeah, Alistair, decent pick into Tahm Kench because obviously you can combo in AoE, but it just goes back to having a safe bot lane, which is something we've seen from Wind and Rain. Hard to pressure Xayah once you get to level 6, and Alistair tankier than most supports. Garner actually coming out from the side of Diabolus here, so they picked the counter pick to stop Wind and Rain taking it, and now they picked it up themselves.
Well, there's going to be the Skarner and the Caitlyn, so that's actually the best of both worlds for Diabolus. They've got themselves the counter to Skarner, and they've also got themselves the Skarner. So really good rotation for them. Now Wind and Rain looking to maybe pick up a jungler, otherwise that will get target banned away from them in the next phase. Or if alternatively they just want to put Rift on something and start banning away the counters, that is also an option to them. But I expect this to be a jungler pick.
Yeah, I don't think Rifty's going to be one to pick something this early, and Nunu does get hovered and does get locked in actually. So something we did see earlier in this split from Dan, and he's decided to bring out again. Something that he definitely wants to have pressure in his mid lane if he wants to make full use of that and be able to steal away camps.
Well, last time we saw Dan play the Nunu, it was week 1, and he basically facilitated Rift snowballing that game. He went 7-1 on Camille in that particular game. So we are going into ban phase 2. Gnar and Zillion. Sorry, Zillion was last ban. Gnar and Alawi getting removed here.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to get rid of the Alawi. It's something that Rifty plays, and even though in the game he played it most recently, he got pressure like early. As soon as you start to get items later on, you can just shred any tanks. So Igloo maybe suggesting he wants to go towards a tanky top laner by removing that. Gnar comes out from the other side. Obviously, still strong in this patch. We are on 8.3. Frozen Mallet and Gnar's Q cooldown hasn't been nerfed, so that's going to stay in. Gangplank actually gets banned away, which is an interesting one because you could have seen maybe Wind and Rain wanted to go towards that since they banned the Gnar, but they will take it away.
Well, Rift has really picked up the Fiora, the Urgot, the Camille. They've basically been his picks throughout the ESL Premiership. Obviously, they played Trundle last week on Sunday, and there's going to be the Fiora getting removed away. So 4 top laners get banned in the ban phase 2.
Yeah, leaves the mid pool quite a bit open. Will be interesting to see if Wind and Rain want to, and looks like they are hovering the mid. Seems likely that they'll want to clear this counter pick for Rifty, and Godbro was confident in taking the Echo blind against Diabolus on Sunday, so it looks like he might be willing to do that again.
Did lose that game, but he did also win the first time he played the Echo, so currently got a 50% win rate on that Echo. Is actually going to be his pickup for now. This means we'll see Rift go for his counter pick. He's still got a couple of options open to him if he wants to go for the Urgot.
Yeah, looks like the Rise Hub will come out from Larson, or
we don't talk about hovers. I mean, we did actually see the Scion. To be fair, we did see the Scion in on Sunday as well. So is actually going to get locked in for Igloo. Let's see what Larson wants to pick up. He has liked his Assassins as well, and he's playing into an Echo. So might just hover around. Has the Kassadin available. Vladimir's available. Quite a few options to him, but it looks like he's definitely going to lock in that Rise. That's what he wants there.
Okay, I think it's a solid pick for him. It's good against the Echo because obviously Echo is very difficult to pin down, very, has a lot of mobility. But with the Rise, you can just root him, and then you have the follow-up from Skarner. I think the Scion is a pick that's definitely shown more play at the competitive level, very tanky, very hard to deal with, and then with Comic actually has some laning pressure and a lot of engage, so definitely a solid pick for Igloo. He has like these high engaged top laners like Malfighting. Looks like Rifty's going to lock in the Ergot.
Ergot will get locked in. Igloo on that side does have some pretty high base damage. He's going to be able to do a fair amount to him, but going to be interested to see how the Ergot versus the Scion matchup will go. Typically, once Ergot gets himself a last Whisper, which he'll probably try to rush quite early, should really be able to chunk through Igloo on this Scion. He also has that Black Cleaver available to him. So I think as we move later into the game, Rift is going to pretty much be able to handle Igloo. But early with those high base damage, if he runs Meteor, he can kind of just spit minions at Rift and just constantly poke him and pressure him.
Yeah, I think, well, it's going to help Igloo out in the early game. He's going to be able to have that pressure, but, you know, being a ranged champion, Rifty will have the laning pressure early. And then once he sort of gets a Black Cleaver, Igloo's not going to really want to fight him. They do have a lot of gank pressure, and especially if Larson can move, he's going to be able to assist. I think this is a good pickup from Larson the Rise, because he's going to be able to do well in a split push compared to other champions against Godbro, and also having the ability to roam top or bot with his ultimate.
It's going to see what's going to happen here. Wind and Rain are a team who like to play towards top. They like to play towards Rift as well. Make sure they can get that snowballing. So could see quite a lot of attention going towards the Ergot. Get that in their favor. Shut down any potential of this Scion coming through. Because what we did see on Sunday was Raise Your Governors playing the Scion into Kerberos, who picked Gangplank. So typically you'd think Gangplank would have a really good matchup into the Scion, but every time we saw Kerberos in the top lane, he was actually sitting on like 20% health. He was constantly getting poked out, and you honestly underestimate how much damage that is capable of doing with the Meteor combined with it. It's a guaranteed hit because he gets slowed, and it's really, really tough to lane into. So Rift has been a very consistent top laner. I'm going to be very interested to see actually how this matchup goes with him playing it.
Yeah, I think it's a decent pick here because, I mean, obviously we said Rifty wanted the counter pick, and I think Ergot being one of the bulkier top lanes, even though he is somewhat a fighter, more for Bruiser to be honest, does seem like he is the sort of champion that'll be able to handle a bit of the Ergot's, a bit of the Scion's poke, and then when he starts to get items, he will be able to chunk them out. And I think Rifty is going on from having a lot of experience and a wide champion pool. He has brought out a lot of picks, like we saw the Aatrox on Sunday, which didn't end up winning that game, but he definitely had a good lane matchup in the Trundle. And I think it just shows the confidence he has to sort of have this counter pick, and say to his team, you know, I want the counter pick. I want to see what I can do top lane. It'll be interesting to see whether it works out and whether he can carry from top pick.
So for all of you guys just tuning in, it will be Diabolus taking on Wind and Rain. Now, Diabolus, if they lose this game, it means they will tie with the winner of the next game, M&M versus Enclave. So whoever wins that will then tie for second place in Group B, and then it can get really messy as we start to look towards playoffs. So Diabolus not only want to win this game to get hot on the heels of Wind and Rain, they also want to do it so they can put a little bit more space between them and M&M or Enclave, whoever is going to be playing in tomorrow. Well, sorry, whoever's going to win the next game. But we have loaded through onto the Summoner's Rift. Diabolus taking on Wind and Rain. Let us know in the Twitch chat who you think will win. Will it be Diabolus or will it be Wind and Rain?
Yeah, and something interesting just to look at from the start is both Godbro and Labrov have gone for the minion dematerializers. Something we've definitely seen become a lot more prevalent in the recent patches, and gives you that extra shove and pressure, and it really ties into Godbro's playstyle. He doesn't necessarily want to dominate his lane opponent, especially when it's someone with a caliber of Larson. He wants to be able to shove in, and he wants to roam and assist his top lane, assist his bot lane, and facilitate them.
Just trying to get a bit of control of these Spires to start the game out.
Yeah, definitely something that's useful for the Skarner. You know, big asset, having control of those, some sort of help with clear.
If we have a look at the summoner supports here, Ignite on Labrov, which means he is definitely looking to play very aggressive in this game.
And he's got this summoner spellbook, which has actually been nerfed in this patch. Reduces the cooldown of summoners by a bit less. Was
10%, I believe.
Yeah.
Is it 15? I can't remember now.
Gone from 25 to 15, I believe.
Yes, that's it.
So still useful because you'll be able to switch that Ignite to TP potentially in the mid game. And wait, look like Rifty will contest this blue.
Oh, I thought he was going to steal that there. Godbro actually running the Glacial Augment on the Echo as well, looking to slow Larson down and keep him in and make sure he can get those trades off. Remember, the third auto attack will get a bit more of a proc and a speed boost onto Godbro as well.
Yeah, it's something we saw from him Sunday, and I think the idea behind it is when you E onto someone as Echo, the slow makes it really easy for your Q to land. I mean, obviously the Q applies a slow as well, but you'll have the initial slow from the E. Just stacks them up, and it means it's a lot easier to get your 3-stack passive than the enemy champion.
Riff started out with that cull as well, so he's definitely looking to snowball as hard as he can this game. Wants to just get himself into that stage where he can have his cleaver as soon as possible so he can deal with Igloos. You see at the moment, they were having a little bit of a scrap out, but neither of them realise that they can kill each other. So we're just going to have a little bit of a look towards this mid lane and see how Godbro is going to handle into Larson. The moment shoving him in under tower.
Yeah, has used one of his minion dematerializers so far, so definitely want to use that to get the pressure. And then with that pressure, you can see he managed to get a ward onto... Oh, and it looks like a bit of an aggressive trade won't really do much there, but as I was saying, Godbro managed to get a ward onto Furion's Raptors, and as a result, he's decided to avoid taking them right now, so... Helping out Dan already, just with that extra vision control.
Yeah, spotting out where Furion is. They want to make sure they know where he is early, because Skarner's ganks early can be extremely potent, especially if he lands that slow on you, guaranteed then into a stun pretty much because you're slowed down, so it can be really hard. Where Dan on this Nunu, his gank potential is minimal at best. He can snowball you, but that's about it, and then blood boil whoever he's ganking. And if that's not a Xayah, it's not overly useful.
Yeah, I think he has to wait for an opportunity where someone's really overextended or a counter gank, which is why it's so important to have the information on where this Skarner is.
Just constant shove from Godbro, forcing Larson in. And this is exactly how we see Godbro play normally. He shoves in and then looks for roams. This time he's just going to get a base off, but he's sniffing around already, starting out with a good start. He's only got one minion dematerializer left.
And I think that shows how he wants to play this early game. He's used 5 of them. Get this early shove-in and keep Larson on the tower. Looks like Larson will go for the recall here. And he's probably going to switch with Spellbooks to TP so he can pick up his tier and get back to lane.
Yeah, looks like that will be the case here.
Yep. So we'll be able to hold up on the pressure.
But already Godbro sniffing around topside, just walking about, having to see if he can find anything on the map. Heading towards his bot lane, and Igloo only had 1 ward on way in. He actually does have a ward just in front of his bush as well, so he should be fine for now.
Yes, smart from Igloo just to have his to have the river covered, but does show exactly what Godbro's planning to do this game. Gets the pressure mid lane and looking to roam already. Didn't get anything there, but the pressure
engage coming in. She just manages to land himself the stun and is going to walk away. Gets a bit of a trade onto Larson, but because he's got those minion dematerializer stats, it means he will actually be able to get himself a decent shove through. And actually Larson getting engaged and slowed by the Glacial Augment, but will be able to get himself an overload and a rune prison to pin Godbro in. No more chase coming through.
Yeah, and although he does have the passive from the minion dematerializers just to help him have more damage against the minions, you can sort of see now how when they're off the table, Larson does have the ability to push in a bit on this rise. Once he's got the tier and he's got a bit more mana. Dan heading towards the lane, but yeah, does back off.
Decides he's going to plod back into the jungle. Can't actually make that work for his favor. We haven't really talked too much about this bot lane at the moment.
Yeah, interesting to see just there is that Dan actually pinged the Tribrush, so I think he assumed it was warded, but it was really just smart heads-up play from Smiley and Haddo and just played safe and played reactively. And managed to avoid that gank. But yeah, I mean, the thing with this bot lane is a pretty passive one. Quite hard to pressure the Tom and quite hard to pressure the Alistair Xayah.
So Larson flashes forward, Rune Prison, Overload, the damage is here! That's going to be the ulti from Godbro though, and he's going to be able to peel away. Skarner is still chasing around though. Maybe he wants to make it happen, but Godbro will be able to get out. Aggressive play from Larson in the mid.
Yeah, I can respect the aggression from him, but unfortunately he does trade down. They only get the ult from Godbro, and Larson actually burning his own flash, so... I mean, against the Nunu, there's not too much pressure in terms of ganks, but Ryze is quite immobile, and actually, just to clarify on this patch, the stopwatch ult trick doesn't work. That has been removed on this patch, so won't be able to pull that off. Yeah.
It was the worst thing when you're like, I've got this Ryze, then he just zonyas and slide his way out of there with his ulti. Not going to happen anymore, but Furion, now knowing that the ulti is down on Godbro, is having a little look around. Godbro's playing very safe though, still does have a flash as well to his name. And no first blood at 6 minutes. It's been a pretty quiet one. A couple of plays being tried to get made here and there, but nothing affirmative, nothing definite so far.
Yeah, Labrov just switching in the TP to get back to lane for a bit of pressure. We'll see Ashley coming out to Smiley, but looks like he's going to try and recall here because he's low on mana.
Matty has been another very good player for Wind and Rain. We've talked a lot about how Rift has been one of the players who has been a real carry for them, but Matty's been quietly carrying from the backline as well. As we did actually just see Igloo use the unstoppable onslaught to walk out of a gank, which Dan was coming in. So far, Dan's had a pretty quiet game, just farming. He's actually getting a counter jungle off now. This is the most aggressive thing he's done all game.
Smart. This is how you want to play the Nuna. You don't necessarily want to look for skirmishes or fights, but denying the blue buff is going to be pretty huge. You can then go and give your blue buff to Godbro, and it's going to give the shove an advantage in the mid lane. And this is what you need. This is what Godbro needs if he wants to be able to roam.
Now, Ox, let's have a little look at the warding around the map here. What have we got coming through? There's lots of vision towards this bot side as Rift actually taking a trade with Igloo. He's going to get a lot of damage down onto him, but not going to get a kill. But you're seeing so much attention getting put towards keeping Matty and Labrov alive, making sure they see the Skarner before he gets to the lane.
Yeah, and I think particularly, Furion's going to be heading towards his level 6, and you need to be aware of where he is. So we've got a lot of pink ward vision. You can see Labrov moving up. They might be looking for Larson here as he's down flash, but Larson sort of expects it, plays a bit safe, and get...
Labrov walking back into lane, just gone on another little warding trip to make sure that him and Matty are nice and safe. So we're approaching the 10-minute mark, and gold is dead even at this point.
Something to know, bot lane of Diabolus have just recalled, and looks like they're heading top lane, so I think they're going to go for an ult from Hado and see if they can punish Rifty here. Probably going to look for this first tower as well. They do have a BF and Berserker Greaves on Caitlyn, so really good for pushing down these towers. See, it's going to be about...
Okay, cool. Sorry, I thought they were going to go for 4-man dive there, but they're just going to use the Abyssal Voyage to deliver Smiley into the lane. Means he can start to look to push this out as Godbro again, just playing how Godbro plays, shove and roam. So hasn't had too much opportunity to get a big roam off yet.
And I think this is a really smart decision from Diabolus. I mean, they have the Caitlyn who's really good at powers, and I think as well, Godbro wants the lane. Your mid's not going to have as much pressure, so instead of giving them the chance, they switch things up, and now, although they lose out on the first tower blood, they're just trading at this point, which is fine for them. They are a team who want to sort of scale further on. They have the Caitlyn, they have the Rise, so really strong later in the game. And looks like
they just that tower was going down either way, so they knew that they could at least answer back with turret for turret. Yeah, it's not first brick gold, but it's good for them to get this rotation off. They've even managed to pretty much bounce an entire wave. Unfortunately, another wave came in, so they didn't get the perfect bounce out. But this will mean that Wind and Rain can get themselves the Ocean Drake. So they've got themselves a little bit more regen, and the next Drake will be the Infernal Drake. So we'll probably see quite a bit of action happen towards there when that comes up.
Yeah, definitely a big priority to secure that. Infernal Drake will happen a lot later in the game. Ocean, it's not something you tend to see as a huge priority for Drakes, but it does actually help a team a lot in the early game. Probably the most impactful early game Drake, just because it gives that sustain in the lane and phase. So definitely won't turn their nose at that.
And Wind and Rain have not turned their nose at a single Drake. They actually have the highest Drakes in their group. Managed to secure a serious amount of Drakes. I believe it's at 9 at the moment. That might have been their 10th. I have to double check those numbers. But they've been taking a lot of Drakes around the map and had constant pressure on it. So Dan's been really about these objectives. And the Nunu will help him to take these neutral objectives a lot easier. He's got the Blood Boil for towers. He's obviously got his Consume, so he can eat up like things like the Rift Herald and Drakes. So lots and lots of kind of objective control coming through from Wind and Rain.
Yeah, and you see they've had to sort of move their vision up to the top side, but been a bit delicate here. They obviously had a lot of vision around the bot lane when they were securing this Drake and tower. And as a result of that, they weren't able to push in there against Diabolus. And Furion did look to start the Herald, but then just backed off. So I think this objective will be the next point of contention. And as you can see, Dan and Labrov are looking to secure some vision in the area.
Well, still no first blood, and we're at 11 minutes. Godbro taking a little bit of damage. He's going to stand on top of that control ward and just try to clear it out, but there's too many members, and I think this actually will just be Rift Herald for Diabolus unless Wind and Rain decide they want to fight it out. Are they in a position to fight it out at the moment though?
I think they're in a difficult situation because they're lacking vision. I think they need Godbro to get a chance to shove in, and he can move and help establish vision. And as you can see, Larson's burning through his mana to try and stop that. It looks like he's going to have to recall for mana, so Wind and Rain will be able to shove in now and secure some vision control.
Just like I said earlier, they push the wave in, they get themselves vision to protect Matty and Labrov to make sure they are completely safe, and they're starting to clear these wards out. There are 3 wards in their red side though, so there's an area where Dan can get tracked through the jungle. Any Godbro roams can also get tracked. But Godbro actually recognizing this and just walking towards the bot lane. Maybe he's looking for a play onto Igloo, who hasn't actually got any magic resist at the moment. And it looks like that will be the answer. But the Unstoppable Onslaught makes ganking Sion very, very irritating.
Yeah, it was smart that he managed to clock that and took a good escape route. Does mean he's without his ult, so if there's a team fight here, it won't be as useful. Like Diabolus will start up the Rift Herald.
Yeah, they're going to start that up. Obviously, Rifty is still in that bot lane, so he's not going to be able to do too much. Larson getting engaged on here by Dan, but he looks to try and turn this around. Godbro's going to block out that overload to make sure he doesn't land it onto Dan, who would have taken a fair amount of damage. And Rift Herald is thwarted again.
Both teams just playing very much a pressure game here. Bit of a push and pull, and Labrov's recall will get stopped by the ace and hole.
So irritating.
Yeah.
That's so irritating. Now, I think let's talk a little bit about win conditions at the moment, because we're at 13 minutes. It's been a very, very slow game. Obviously, both of these teams know that this is an important game for them to win. What are the win conditions for Diabolus, and what do Wind and Rain need to do to start getting themselves in control of the game?
I think Wind and Rain definitely want to keep playing for their objectives. I think they ideally want to get in a situation where they can 1-3-1. In the side lane, Godbro can shove in extremely long lane and roam. Issue is now, because both towers are up mid, isn't really much of an opportunity to roam, because if he does, Larson's just going to start shoving in. So I think essentially Wind and Rain just want to open up the map a bit more so Godbro can make these movements. And I feel like Diabolus, they don't necessarily want to play to that. They do want to trade when that happens, but I think they like the game like this. They like the game going slowly. They've got this Ryze who's stacking his Rod of Ages, stacking his tier, and a Caitlyn who currently is sitting on just an Infinity Edge. So not the strongest at the moment, and I think they'll be happy just for the game to keep going like this and dull out a bit.
Sorry about that, guys. Just had a quick bug there, but I'm looking to fix it. Looks like we actually might just be having a bit of action breaking out here. Godbro looks to go in for an engage, but Headbutt Pulverize from Labrov's coming through, and Hadlow, the double daggers, is going to take a fair amount of damage, but he will be A-OK. Looks like he's going to be able to walk away from that.
So as you can see, Larson's moved himself into the top lane, which means he's going to be able to pressure, and Godbro's going to have to react. So this is now an opportunity where Larson shoved in, and you can see now that he has the blue buff, he feels more comfortable to go into a side lane. So that early steal from Dan from the blue buff did set him back a bit, not having the mana to have pressure early in the game, but now feeling confident. And they're just playing for this vision around Rift Herald. Another 5 minutes until the Baron's going to come up, but so the note is a minute left on the Dragon, a minute left before Dragon spawns, and it is an Infernal, so looks like Diabolus might be starting this Herald, want to get it out the way before Dragon spawns.
I think... Sorry about that. I'm back with you now. Cool. So still no first blood. And Rift Herald is constantly being tried to get started here from Diabolus, but they're not actually able to get onto it at this point. And Godbro's gone in with a stun, looking for the damage. Furion's going to get locked down. He's thrown the Impale onto Dan, but it's still not enough. Furion's running away. We're going to see the ulti come through, and the Rift Herald gets secured by the ultimate. Unstoppable Onslaught goes a little bit wide, and 2 kills get picked up by Rift. Make that a triple kill, as the Ryze ultimate will peel 1 out, but a fantastic opening for Wind and Rain.
Yeah, and a bit too greedy from the side of Diabolus. They kept wanting to start this Rift Herald, and eventually they decided to just go for it, not wanting to be up when the Dragon spawned. And they got punished. Godbro came in, put so much damage on a Fury early on, and as a result, not only did he manage to secure the Herald, but a triple kill onto the Zergot, who's already has his Black Cleaver after he TP'd him. He's now going to be huge and a real problem for Igloo. Looks like they're going to head over to the Infernal Drake now as well.
This is absolutely perfect for Wind and Rain. Get a triple kill onto Rift. They're one of their star players. They're going to get themselves a Rift Herald. They're going to get themselves an Infernal Drake, and there's just nothing Diabolus can do about this. And now the game's gone in favor of Wind and Rain. 27,000 gold to 24,000 gold.
Yeah, and having 2 Drakes on top of that just going to help you even further. This is one of the things that we said, is that late game Wind and Rain did struggle on Sunday against Diabolus. That's why they sort of lost the game, and they have shown that they have a powerful early game already. And it's just how they can keep this snowball going, how they can keep a gold lead, keep securing these Dragons, finish out this game.
So that is what they are looking to do. Can't get themselves onto this tower, sorry, though, because they are scared of the potential for Wind and Rain to punish them.
Will be a Mountain Drake. Another valuable one, especially later in the game. So definitely something Wind and Rain wants to pick up again. And I mean, you'd assume Diabolus would want to stop them.
Yeah, Diabolus definitely wanting to try and stop the Wind and Rain from snowballing too hard, because typically that's how Wind and Rain have started to play their games. Godbro hasn't actually been able to roam as much as we thought he would like to do, but unfortunately for him, he has been against Larson, who's again been very, very good. Godbro actually looking for an engage onto Larson though, not going to make it connect, and the rest of the team looking to roam up towards that top side. A little bit of vision getting placed down by the side of Wind and Rain, but they need to start pushing this ward line forward because it's currently still very defensive. There's only a couple of wards moving into Diabolus' jungle, so nothing really allowing them to make too many plays.
Yeah, and I think once the mid tower's down, this is what Wind and Rain looking to do. They shove in and then they try and rotate towards the top side. And RTP from Larson does manage to escape that gank.
Oh, good ulti from Larson to make sure he is going to stay away from that. Furion comes up to back up his top mid laner, and make sure that that tower does not go down. Meanwhile, Rift and Igloo taking a bit of a scrap here. Rift got a really, really big advantage against Igloo at the moment. Now with that triple kill, with the fact he's got himself a Black Cleaver.
Yeah, it's just a situation where Igloo's just got to survive in the lane, shove as much as he can, but he really does not win trades out. And just has to play for team fights here. I mean, even in any situation, going against an Urgot once he's got his Black Cleaver isn't going to be great for a Sion, but when he's managed to pick up 3 kills in Infernal and the Ocean Drake for managed regen as well, not going to be a good time.
Not going to be a good time at all. Protobelt finished up on Godbro. And now Diabolus, what do they need to do? Where do they need to go? What's the plays? What's in the playbook for them to try and pull this game back against Wind and Rain?
I think they just need to keep things as they are. The 1-3-1's actually going pretty well for them. Ryze can hold on to Godbro. And for now, really Glue can hold off Rifty. They just want to pick up more items because the Ryze is only getting stronger, as Caitlyn is. It's like Godbro will go in on Larson.
Yeah, looks like Godbro actually is going to get engaged on here by Larson. Takes a fair amount of damages. Dan comes in with a snowball, throws down the ulti. Godbro going to get himself a good amount of damage through, but Larson can just Rune Prism up and peel away from that. Meanwhile, ulti coming in from Labrov to make sure that the rest of them will all be safe. So that wasn't Labrov, Hadlow, as Labrov is the one also hanging around on the cow.
Yeah, Labrov using the Hex Flash to get over the wall there, but both teams playing well with this pressure and reacting to stop anything happening. And I think this is good for Diabolus, honestly. They had that misplay earlier on, gave a lead to Wind and Rain, but this is what you want. Your Ryze is getting stronger, his Rod of Ages is nearly stacked, he's nearly got his Seraphs, and your Caitlyn's just getting more items and more gold, and that's what you need. Currently, Matty's just picked up his Static Shiv, and seen Larson going aggressive top.
Yeah, Godbro is actually going to take a serious amount of damage from Larson. Feels like Larson's doing a really good job of controlling Godbro. And this was our lane to watch, really. Larson versus Godbro. Both of these players have been really stand out in their teams. Godbro likes to play into the side lanes, try to make plays for his team, and Labrov has just thrived on consistently smashing his mid lane opponent and trying to win in that sense. So very different play styles coming through, and you're seeing Larson at the moment is able to deal with Godbro and keep him tied down. And if we do look at Wind and Rain, they are a team who typically really like to snowball their games, so game times are always quite short. Diabolus definitely testing them on that, trying to make sure that they don't fall to them in this game. They did obviously win against them on Sunday, so it's only been 2 days since Wind and Rain have actually lost to Diabolus. So that's probably in their head. That's maybe why we're seeing a slower tempo game come out of Wind and Rain.
All comes down from Fury and actually onto Dan.
Yeah, he actually does manage to land that Impale as Larson looking for the Rune Prison. Labrov takes a tongue lash to the back of the head from the Tarm Kench.
And Dan will get away just using the flash. So, you know, they do get the flash from Dan, but Nunu's not exactly the target you're going to be looking for in every situation. So I don't think he's too bothered about that. Just both teams testing each other, a bit of push and pull. And looks like Diabolus will get a chance to push him mid. Larson moving down from top lane, but he has given up the top tower.
And Smiley with these traps is going to make the siege work more in their favor. But here comes Labrov, actually. He's popped a Ghost, looking to try and find an opening. Teleport's going to come out from Igloo. And now it looks like the fight is going to be on. Labrov getting engaged on. He's going to pop the Unstoppable Wall. Great. Ulti comes through as the stun's there. Dan's looking to land the slows and the damage as Matty's firing away on the back end. He gets the first kill of the game. That's going to be a 4th kill for Rifty as Igloo on the run. Looks like everyone else is going to be able to walk away from this for now. It was super, super close, that fight.
It's insane play from Labrov. The 5-man knockup completely turned that fight. And it looks like Diabolus will try and contest this Baron.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to do something. Baron sitting on about 2,000 health at the moment. Working through, remember, Matty does have the Blade Cooler, but there's also a Consume Smite. It's almost impossible to steal a Nashor when there's a Nuno on the enemy team. And Diabolus maybe just going to take themselves a Mountain Drake as a consolation prize.
Yeah, and I feel like Diabolus just tried too hard to force that onto the Alistair. Labrov was fine at absorbing the pressure. 1 second. Looks like they won't even get the Mountain Drake here. They're going to get forced off it by Godbro.
Godbro actually managed to force them off on his own 1v3 there, because there was also Smiley hanging about. But Dan's going to turn up with Matty, and this will be a 3rd Drake for Wind and Rain, and a Mountain Drake on top of that Infernal Drakes means they're going to be able to take down these structures nice and easily. This is a really, really good game coming through from Wind and Rain. Really methodical at the moment. And they're 3 turrets to 1 versus Diabolus. You need to do so much to try and open up the map, do so much to pull this game back in their favor.
Yeah, it's a really difficult situation. They need a lot more items on Caitlyn before she becomes a massive threat, and dealing with this Baron isn't going to be easy.
At least they have the traps on Smiley, so he can clear these waves out and negate some of the siege, but it's only 1 lane at a time he can stop. And if they go for the 1-3-1, which we'll probably see as Godbro is walking towards there, Rift actually is about to get Abyssal Voyaged on 3 members running for him. Rift looking to run away. Unstoppable Onslaught is flashed away by Rift, and he can just scuttle his way out of there. While the rest of Wind and Rain just waiting for the minions to crash into mid lane. Yeah, Hex Tech Flash! Okay, he's not actually going to go for anything too much there. I thought that was a juicy play in the making.
Diabolus, I think they're making the right decision here. They're obviously in a really bad position, but they're looking for these plays to get a little back. They get Rifty's Flash, he's going to have to play a bit safer, and they just have to keep doing this until they get to the point where they do have enough of items on their carries where they can actually start to win team fights, but 6k goal behind, they've got a long time to wait.
And the roam threat from Diabolus is really, really scary if you're on the side of Wind and Rain. Tahm Kench can turn up with another person into a lane. You've got the Rise who can ult an entire team if need be into a lane. So there's lots of ways for them to get around and sneak behind you if you're trying to go for this 1-3-1. And it's a really good way to shut it down. Force Rift's Flash already. Abyssal Voyage is about 40 seconds away from being up, so they could go for another play bot lane if they want. And this time, Rift won't be able to flash it. They could look to try and get onto Godbro, but Godbro is very safe on the Echo with his ultimate. As he's still pushing in. Labrov Hextech flashes over the wall. There's going to be the Pulverize, followed up by the headbutt. Ult is thrown down by Dan, and he manages to pick up the kill. The root has gone onto tower as Labrov is tanking it up, but Matty will be able to come through and secure the kill and secure the tower. Larson, one more headbutt Pulverize onto him as they're looking for the stun. The Blade Cooler comes through, and it's a double kill for Godbro. Now they're chasing for more as Godbro's in and out of the fight. Pops the ultis to stay secure. An Inhibitor turret in the bot lane is destroyed, and Inhibitor will be under fire. This is going to go down at 25 minutes. Wind and Rain playing dominant, and it looks like they're still not done.
Yeah, they will just rotate to this bot lane inhibitor where Rifty's been pressuring.
Yeah, Rifty's going to be able to take that down with the rest of the team. That's 2 inhibitors dead for Diabolus, and Wind and Rain can walk away happy. Probably look to spend this gold. No objectives are going to be coming up on the map anyway, so use the last of their Baron to get recall off, and then maybe look to try and pressure out mid or just push in these side lanes for the win.
Really difficult to see what Diabolus can do from here, and just another mistake from Fury and Haddo there. Both of them 0-3-0, and it caught out by the other side. I mean, good play from Labrov using the Hex Flash to get over the wall, but Furion just not tanky at all. Nearly got bursted through, and then Haddo tried to punish, but I don't think he realized how low the tower was. And wow,
oh, Godbro's found Smiley. The damage is there. 3 shots. And Smiley is deleted by Godbro. That's a 40-second death timer. That's a lot of time for Wind and Rain to work with. And Godbro can always look for an engage now. He's thrown down the parallel convergence. The stun should connect onto Igloo. That's going to get him up, but Hadlo will be able to peel him out with an eat. Make sure he stays alive, and the rest of the minions are going to start to push in. The supers will be working their way into these side lanes nice and quick. Dan with the Blood Boil onto Matty will mean these towers will drop very fast as well, and that will be the last inhibitor turret falling to Wind and Rain. Just 1 more inhibitor and 2 more turrets stand between Wind and Rain and the Nexus, and they've still not lost a single member in this game. We haven't really hit on this at all, but there has not been a single death for Wind and Rain in this game.
Yeah. Oh! Whoa! That was unfortunate.
flashed over by Furion. He's chasing him down, though, looking for him. That's going to be the flash forced away from Godbro, though, so he will be able to walk out of that. And Matty still pressuring in with the rest of the team, working towards this mid lane inhibitor. It's currently on half health. Parallel Convergence is there, not actually going to find a stun target. Larson gets engaged on there. It's going to be the ultimate from Dan. This could be the final fight as Matty is on the back. The ulti comes through from Godbro, and that picks up the kill. Blade Cooler should secure Mata kill as he picks one up. Larson on the run as Hadlow also trying to make his way out. The grey health is just not enough, and that's going to be a double kill as Godbro dashes forward with a phase dive. Can't quite connect it for the kill. Ace in the hole comes down. Dan blocks it up. There has not been a single member lost by Wind and Rain as they are 27 minutes on the clock, looking to drop the Nexus. Going for a completely perfect KDA game. This is a fantastic showing for them. And Wind and Rain take down Diabolus.
Wow. Yeah, just clinical, I guess is all you can really say about that. Wind and Rain obviously had some doubters on Sunday when they did manage to lose against Diabolus, but this time I think they very much put